night and welcome to another edition of In Touch. I'm your host, Jadia Japierre Emmanuel. Tonight we'll be focusing on the area of employment. During the 2011 general elections campaign, the St. Lucia Labour Party highlighted employment as its number 1, 2, and 3 priorities. Since then, we have seen a number of initiatives being unfolded by the government of St. Lucia. Tonight, we'll be focusing on one in particular, one that, whereas the public has had some information as to the program, the nature of the opportunities involved, there has never been an opportunity to interact with the institution responsible for administering this program, and as well to hear from individuals who have participated in the training and have also benefited from the employment opportunities available. We will start by listening to a clip. This is our Prime Minister presenting the cruise ship employment program during his 2014-2015 budget statement.
It is no secret that the many cruise ships that we see berthing at our ports each week employ thousands with well-paid jobs. However, the problem has always been with the inability of St. Lucians to access these jobs because of the cost associated with meeting the requisite qualifications and other requirements. We know all too well the unsuccessful, costly attempts made by the government in the past to provide support to local candidates to access these jobs. I think that was a solo run, I think. However, through NICE, the government of St. Lucia launched a pilot program valued at $0.4 million during the past fiscal period to assist unemployed youth between the ages 19 and 35 to access this employment. Unlike other similar initiatives in the past, this pilot program has been carefully designed in conjunction with a training institution, a cruise line, and the St. Lucia Development Bank. The program is specifically targeted for non-utility job opportunities within the cruise sector. With these types of jobs, Mr. Speaker, successful candidates can earn as much as, and in some cases, in excess of US $3,000 per month.
This was our Prime Minister speaking on the cruise ship employment program. He did indicate that there was a pilot version of this program where the National Initiative to Create Employment, NICE, partnered with the St. Lucia Development Bank and the Springboard Training Institute to provide training and employment opportunities through Carnival Cruise Lines. It is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Anne-Marie Quayle. She's the Managing Director of the Springboard Training and Development Center. And I will tell you, welcome to the program. And I believe many St. Lucians are happy to finally put a face to Springboard, because since the announcement by the Prime Minister in the budget last year, many persons have been asking, who are they, where is Springboard, and how can I benefit from this new opportunity? So welcome to In Touch, and thank you for taking the opportunity to speak to St. Lucians on Springboard and the opportunities available for employment.
Jadia, thank you for having me. I'm more than happy to be here.
I want to start off by asking, what exactly is this training institute? What the genesis of this training institute? For many years, St. Lucians have been gaining employment on cruise ships. It goes way beyond my years. We had musicians, and we also had individuals being recruited in utility positions on the cruise ship. So employment in that area is not new. However, to many St. Lucians, Springboard is a new entity. So before we go further into the program, I would like to get some background information on the Training Institute and your introduction to St. Lucia, how you got involved in training and development in St. Lucia.
Right. Okay. Well, the institute was opened in July, August 2012, and we set up really to offer a range of UK qualifications to people in St. Lucia, ranging from management development programs, HACCP, health and safety, and of course the unemployment program, which most people know us for. In terms of my background, I have lived in the UK for many, many years. I've worked in behavioral risk management. I've been an HR director in the National Health Service, and I've also been a magistrate. So I'm really used to...
It's an interesting mix.
Yes, I'm really used to dealing with people from all walks of life, and I've certainly been in people development for most of my productive life.
In terms of Springboard, and its involvement with recruitment and training, particularly geared towards the cruise ship sector. My understanding is that this program, the program to partner with the government of St. Lucia and Carnival Cruise Lines, was both through Springboard. So basically you had this relationship with Carnival Cruise Lines, but recognized the limitations in terms of funding. At what point did the government of St. Lucia come in?
Right, okay, so let me start from the beginning. The cruise ship unemployment program really is geared towards the young people who needed to be upskilled and offered a qualification, the opportunity to work towards a qualification. And then we didn't want to train for training's sake. So the thinking was that we would like to be able to offer these young people an opportunity to work. And we approached Carnival Cruise Lines, and after a little while they decided to work with us. And I think it was the pilot program where one of the barriers that we noticed was that although students were doing extremely well in terms of the qualification, and they did extremely well at interview, the main barrier really was their post-interview costs. And because that was a huge barrier, in the sense that if students weren't able to take up their positions on the cruise ship, then Carnival would have to reconsider, whether they would come to St. Lucia or not to interview our students. So it was at that point that we thought a public-private partnership was the best way forward.
What are some of the costs involved in securing employment on the cruise ship? So we go through the training and say perhaps the candidates are successful at the interview. What costs are involved, and in terms of the actual amounts that we are speaking about, would you be able to give us a sense as to what exactly is involved?
Yes, absolutely. It's approximately, in terms of the post-interview cost, it's approximately about 3,000 EC dollars, and it is broken down into several parts. To be successful on the cruise ship, you have to undertake a medical, and that costs about 650 EC. You also have to get an American visa, which means that you have to pay for the visa and travel to Barbados. Travel to Barbados, it's maybe in the range of 1,000, 1,200.
Yes.
Cost of a visa, maybe about 400 EC. And yeah, so all in all, it's about 3,000.
I want to speak to the program itself. We have already established a point of connection, and so the government of St. Lucia decided, as announced by the Prime Minister in his budget statement, that a sum of money would be made available so that students who are successful at the training and interview would be able to access those funds to meet the cost. But before being successful, there is a process, there is a recruitment process, and many of my viewers are wondering, how exactly do I qualify? So how does one qualify to be part of this employment program?
Right. To start with, we've got two masters. We've got the UK qualification body, who we have to make sure that our students meet the requirements to do the qualification. And there's one main requirement to do the qualification, is that you need to have good writing skills, because once you've done the program, you have to be able to demonstrate your knowledge and understanding of the various things that you've been taught in writing, mainly because the assignments are marked here by our tutors, but then it has to go to the UK to be validated. So the students have to be able to express themselves quite well in writing. The other requirements are primarily based on Carnival, and so we have requirements like the students have to be between the ages of 21 to about 33 years of age. 21 because of the American alcohol laws. You cannot drink or serve alcohol unless you're 21. You have to be able to, it's working in bar and restaurant, it's customer facing role, so you have to be able to communicate quite well with customers. You have to be well presented. There's a range of requirements that they have including medical. You have to be able to pass your medical, including, you know, the right BMI. So there's a range of things that we have to go through with the potential student. When they come to the training center, we go through, you know, we share information with them. Then they have to go through a pre-selection process where we assess whether they meet the requirements.
How does Springboard prepare the student for that interview? Because you are training, and you are training individuals for employment.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that once students are recruited into the program, it is a guarantee that they are posted once they are successful at the course and the interview. So what exactly happens at Springboard to prepare the students for the interview and for the exams that would ultimately lead up to the international qualification?
Right. Okay. So the module, the qualification is 120 guided learning hours. Mm-hmm. So they have to attend the center for a full month, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mm-hmm. It's a very comprehensive course covering a range of modules. From customer service. Customer service obviously covers things, how to deal with customers, good, bad, and ugly. Communication skills, the importance of having good interpersonal skills. We cover things like workplace skills, attitude to work, things like punctuality, and other technical skills, wine service, cocktail service, drink service. So it's a very comprehensive program that covers technical aspects of the cruise ship work, as well as, you know, softer skills.
In terms of the number of individuals who have benefited from this government cruise ship employment program, do we have the actual numbers? How many persons have been trained and how many persons have been employed? And I also want to speak about the jobs that are available, mm-hmm. Because from what I have gathered, the jobs are skilled jobs. Mm-hmm. We are very used to the utility positions, but my understanding is that the agreement between Springboard and Carnival Cruise Lines mm-hmm. makes provisions for utility positions. How many persons have been trained and how many have gone on?
Right. Well, that's I'm glad you raised that point, because that was a very conscious decision that we took when we were setting up the training center, that we wanted to be able to offer, we wanted to be able to upskill the young people, and then we wanted to be able to offer them skilled positions where they could earn good wages, you know, have sustainable jobs, and be able to help themselves and their families to become more financially independent. So that was a very conscious decision on our part, and hence the qualification. So in terms of the number of people that we've trained, the total number since we opened is 385 that we've trained, and the number of successful candidates who've been offered positions is 351.
Which is extremely high.
So we've got an extremely high pass rate. I think in the pilot program we had an 86% pass rate, and since then we've been in the 90s. And I think we intend to keep it that way.
Are opportunities still available? Because I know many young persons who are viewing this program who are unemployed, this is the only question on their minds. Can I still take advantage of this program, and how?
Yes, well, of course you can take advantage of the program. Our relationship with Carnival seems to be getting stronger and stronger. So, you know, that's very positive for us and for them. As long as students or potential students, people wanting to join the program, meet the requirements, we are very transparent about what the requirements are. And the primary reason for this is we really don't want to take people who don't meet the requirements, because in a situation like that, you know, it's unhealthy for the actual student, and it puts the program at risk. So we have to make sure that they meet the requirements. They are basic requirements. So once they've gone through that interview process, you know, we then let them know whether they're successful for the program. And it's just a case of either ringing the training center. The telephone number is 450-0198, or just coming to see us. And we're based in Gros Islet, just opposite the police station.
I need to ask about the recruitment process, mm-hmm. because statements have been made in various quarters that the program is biased, mm-hmm. that the recruitment is being done based on recommendations from various ministers or parliamentary representatives, and that people are being denied access to the program based on their political affiliation or where they live. How does the Institute go about recruiting individuals for this program?
Right. Well, first of all, I mean, that's very insulting to us. I in particular, you know, have my own credibility to maintain, and we certainly want to maintain the credibility of the training school. And so it's open to everybody. I mean, most of our students come from referral from existing students. So, for example, when we first started, we did advertise in the local press. We did presentations across the country. And, but now, certainly in the last 18 months, it's really been from referral, you know, students who attend our classes, they refer their friends and their family. So the requirements that I've outlined, those are the only requirements that we use. And I've certainly never been asked to do anything other than that, you know, and we certainly wouldn't put ourselves in a compromising position. You know, the program is there for every young person as long as they meet the requirements.
What is the response like from the students who go through the program? And in fact, I must say to our viewers, I'm very pleased that we have in studio with us 2 individuals who have actually benefited from this program, and we will be speaking with them a little later. I'm excited to hear from them because it is all well and good for the managing director to say nice things about her program, and I can come and say wonderful things about the program because it's a government's program. But when we hear from those who have benefited, how the opportunity changed their lives, how they have been able to move on and to do positive and meaningful things for themselves, and I think we'll get a true sense as to the impact of this program. But for now, Mrs. Quayle, what has the response been like from Carnival? We recruit, they meet the requirements, they get the certification, and they go on to the cruise ship. What has the response been like? Because I'm sure you've heard many persons say, whereas St. Lucia has an unemployment program, there are many St. Lucians who just do not want to work. And so people, even though they are given the opportunity, they do not display the work ethic that you would want. Has there been any complaints from Carnival Cruise Lines about St. Lucians who go out there, their performance on the cruise ship, basically?
Yes, we have had really positive stories. I mean, to be perfectly honest, we've had maybe a couple of bad apples or bad mangoes as we're in the Caribbean, but on the whole, you know, it's been extremely positive. And if it wasn't, then Carnival wouldn't keep coming, and every time they come, they recruit more people. And they've got the rest of the world to choose from. They don't have to come to St. Lucia. I think they are thrilled with, you know, everything that we're doing at the training center. In fact, we'll be meeting with them in February. We think that they're going to be asking us to do more. And so we've only had very positive feedback from them. And we've had some students who have really excelled as well. One of them is here tonight.
Yes.
But we've had many others who've excelled. So no problems at all. I think we're very strong.
What about future opportunities? Because many persons will be looking at this program and they will say, okay, leave St. Lucia, go to work on a cruise ship, what next? Are there opportunities for mobility? Can they move on to do other things, or are we training individuals at the Institute for specific jobs that they would be confined to once they get to the cruise ship?
Okay, so we're training, it's a diploma in International Diploma in Hospitality Industry Skills. So when they are interviewed, the recruiters are coming to recruit for bar servers and bar waiters. And any employer, if they want to recruit for a particular position, they don't want people who want to do some other job. Certainly not immediately. However, there are opportunities on board the cruise ship for cross-training. We like to make this very clear to our students because we don't want people going on to taking up the position and then after a couple of months they want to move. That wouldn't make Carnival very happy.
Right.
However, Carnival, you know, there is a career ladder. And so, for example, you will learn that the student that's here tonight that you'll be talking to, he's already being encouraged to go for a higher position. So there are opportunities for cross-training, and there are opportunities for personal and professional development, and to move into different jobs. We've had a couple of people who have moved into areas like guest services already, in their second contract. but I don't want anyone coming to the center and thinking that, you know, we'll go in and stay doing bar services for 3 months and then we'll move to something else. It doesn't quite work like that. You have to do your time, like in any other organization. Yes. You have to do your time. When vacancies arise, as long as you're performing to a high standard, you absolutely get noticed. And so you have to prepare yourself for that when the opportunity arises, that, you know, that you can grab that opportunity with both hands.
What is the salary scale like, the positions that we're recruiting for?
The range at the moment is anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000. Could be more than that. We've had students who are earning
EC or US
2,000 to 3,000 US. Oh. Yes, US.
And I should consider changing jobs.
Yes, it's quite significant considering, you know, to earn that kind of money.
And then the qualifications coming in, at what level are we recruiting? CXE, tertiary? At what level? What is the minimum requirement?
The requirement, we don't ask for CXEs because there's many people who can do the job, who has good writing skills, but doesn't have CXEs. So we don't actually ask for CXEs. So you
assess based on competence?
Yeah, we assess based on, you know, how they present themselves, because, you know, you're working in bar and restaurant, so you have to have really good presentation. Right. You have to have good communication skills. Obviously, knowledge, if you've got some experience, that's always an advantage. And of course, for the qualification, we have to make sure that you can articulate yourself well in writing in order to demonstrate your knowledge.
Sounds good. We'll go to a commercial break, and I am very excited. I don't think I want to wait any further to bring on our students. So we'll go to a commercial break, and while we do that, we will set up so you can hear from the students who went through the training program. And I do not even think I should be referring to them as students because they are new recruits. They have satisfied the requirements, they have passed the exams, passed the interview, and they are basically ready. Well, one has gone on his first contract and will be going back, but we have another student who recently succeeded at the interview and will be taking up a post at Carnival Cruise Line. So when we come back, we'll be hearing from the recruits. Welcome back to In Touch with me, Jadia Japie-Emmanuel. We have been discussing the cruise ship employment program, and earlier on in the program we spoke with Mrs. Anne-Maria Quayle, and she's the Managing Director of the Springboard Training and Development Center. We are about to engage in a discussion with two young individuals who have benefited from this program. I want to welcome Miss Natania Constantine, very bubbly, very energetic, and we have Mr. Webster John. We will start with Miss Natania, so that you could give us a little bit of a background into why you decided to go into this program and what your experience at the Springboard Training Institute was like. I want to first start off. You were unemployed and decided to go to Springboard to see whether you're able to benefit and take advantage of this program. For how long were you unemployed before moving in that direction?
Well, I was unemployed since last year, March.
What did you do prior to that?
Prior to that, I worked at Skyride, Windfirst Skyride, as a tour guide. So then after a while, you know, I found out about the training, and then the next day I went to find out a little bit more about it, and then it sounded so exciting and kind of fit my personality and my background. So it sounded great. And then the following week I had my interview to start training, and then, yeah, it began. It was a very fantastic experience.
Did you know that you wanted to work on a cruise ship, or you were basically just looking for employment?
Basically, I was just looking for an employment. It was just a really desperate time in my life. So, yeah, just looking for an employment because, you know, there wasn't really anything. So,
what was the experience like at Springboard? You went in, you completed the application form, you did the interview. Did you ever think they would call you back? Because I know as a young person, when you're looking for a job, this probably was not your first stop, that you would have been other places already and waiting for a call. Sometimes you never get a call. So what was your mindset like when you went into the institute?
Well, I tell you, when I went in, I asked so many questions about the training. I'm like, what do you look for? Am I too short? So then tell me, no, you just, you know, your handwriting, your personality, your communication skills. I'm like, okay, that should be easy for me. I could do that. And then, you know, the following day she called me and told me when I got through, I'm able to start the training. And but the training was phenomenal. It was really great. I met so many new persons. I learned so many things. You know, even basic things that you should know, you know, you're still able to put it in place and learn a little bit more about it.
Was it difficult to fit in? You're moving from employment and you're going into training for employment. And I know that a training setting is different in terms of what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. What was the training and the transition period like for you? Was it frustrating at first, or you had a smooth transition into the training?
Well, with me, it wasn't frustrating at all. The only thing is, you know, being unemployed and then I have to be leaving every day to be, you know, on time and getting the money for bus fare and for food, you know, that's kind of like the more difficult part for me in the training. But then, you know, with all the notes and the writing, basically the tutor made it so fun that you wouldn't even know that you had a lot to learn. So that the training went on really smoothly.
What did you do really? What position were you trained for?
I trained for bar waitressing.
And so this is what you will be moving on to do on the cruise ship?
Yes, that is.
What was the training like? What kind of activities were you involved in? What was the program like?
With the program, they teach you basically everything as if to, they prepare you for the work environment. In my first week, what I learned, I was able to just walk up to a hotel and just start working as if I had years of experience.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So it was great. So they teach you wine service, cocktail service, and all of that. So customer service and, you know, your personality and communication, interpersonal skills. They teach you everything, how to greet, seat the guests, all of that.
So what was the interview like? Because you went through the process here, but you had to be interviewed by Carnival. I can imagine that this was a bit of an intimidating experience. Or were you ready?
Well, I'll be honest, I wasn't ready. Everybody who came out, I'm like, what did they ask you? What did they ask you? But then when I went in, I'm like, oh wow, they look good. The interview, it wasn't a difficult interview. It's more like a fun interview. Mm-hmm. What they look for is basically your personality, and you do have to know, you know, a little bit, you have to have knowledge. So, but they make you feel comfortable. Honestly, it's nothing difficult. You just have to be yourself, be bold, be outgoing, outspoken, and you're great.
And you are all that.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to on the cruise ship? What are your expectations?
Well, my expectations on the cruise ship is meeting different personality, furthering my communication skills and all of that sort, me going further in life, coming back, you know, with a little paper.
Well, we heard it from her, but I want to bring on Mr. Webster John. And would you imagine that since I said that we would be having 2 recruits on the show, I've received about 5 messages, and people are saying, say hello to Webster for me. Oh, so I can, Webster is a superstar. And it means that Webster has gone out and spoken about his time on the cruise ship. He has been on before, and you're going for your 2nd round. Yes. I really want to know, what is it like on this cruise ship? Because people say, listen to me, no matter how bad things are in St. Lucia, I am not going on a cruise ship because this is hard work and the conditions there are not good. What was it like for you? What is it like?
First of all, do we have enough time? Because
we have enough time. I really want to know about it.
Actually, I'm just finishing I just finished my first contract, and it was amazing. I could tell you. I've been here only 3 weeks now, and I want to go back.
Really?
Yes, I want to go back.
But I'm sure when you're out there, you miss St. Lucia.
To be honest, no.
My God,
I was not homesick. Not I was
so
not
it means
homesick.
that you really enjoy this job.
I really
and it means that this
job.
is for you.
Yes.
You know, while there are some persons who do it because there is no other opportunity, basically you feel like you have found your dream job.
Yes, like everybody who knows me always tell me, you know what, you found your niche. This is you. This is a great way of, how would I say that? Being yourself, because I like being around people, making them feel comfortable, making them feel relaxed, and most of all, making them have a great time.
How old are you, if I may ask?
Should I say that on TV?
Yeah, I just what I want to figure out is the period of time between your schooling and this job, whether it is your first job, where did you work before, if you were unemployed, and how long you were unemployed for.
Actually, it's not my first job.
Okay.
To answer your question, I'm 24 years old.
So what did you do before that?
Well, let's go all the way back. I started at Sandals Grand.
Oh, so you have a background in hospitality?
Yes, I do. A very strong one.
What is it like on the cruise ship? How many hours do you work in a day?
Okay. Well, on sea days, which you're just on the sea for the whole day, you work, I would say, between 9 to 10 hours. On port days, where you actually import in a different country, I would say between 7 to 8.
Okay.
Yes.
So working 9 to 10 hours, I would imagine, would be a little difficult because most persons here are used to working 8 hours, and sometimes we cheat an hour, we cheat 2 hours. You know how this works.
Yes.
But in an environment of greater supervision and you have to work 9 to 10 hours, perhaps this is what some persons complain about in terms of it being a difficult environment.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't work 9 or 10 hours straight.
Okay.
It splits into shifts. So
okay.
you come, you work your morning shift, then you have probably like 4 to 5 hours break, and then you come back, you work your night shift, and then you're done for the day.
What do you like least about this experience? There must be something about it that it's not very exciting, and that sometimes, you know, you have your doubts about it. Or is it that you just love everything about the cruise ship and you love the program?
I love the cruise ship, but the thing I did not like was the food. That's one thing I miss. The food, my home cooked meal, parents cooking, my grandma, everybody. But going there, you see rice every day. For 7.5 months, I saw rice every day. And now that I'm back home.
So you're eating all your burja, your dashi,
Yes.
your green figs and everything else.
No.
No wonder you look so round. So it's like you're stocking up so that you can go back. I understand. I truly understand. And I know this is something that most people miss when they leave St. Lucia.
Yes,
you miss the food.
Yes.
Yes, you miss the food. But to go back to the program and to your own experience, you did the training with Springboard, you did the interview, you were successful, and you moved on.
Yes.
Do you believe that this program that is currently being run by Springboard, do you believe that it prepared you adequately for that experience on the cruise ship?
Yes, it did. I must say, I'm a true testimony of it, and yes, because even though I went to Springboard, I had a little amount of experience in the bar. I just had probably, I'd say, 2% out of 5%, and then I came in thanks to the students in my class. Everybody came together. We helped each other out while we were at Springboard, and then it just grew there into a family. So while you're there, they give you the experience in bar service, so you get to make different cocktails, open wines, have interpersonal skills with each other. So it's a great experience.
How did you find out about the program? First, Natanya, with that, how did you find out about the program, and how did you know where to go?
I found out about the program from a friend. He told me about it. I knew absolutely nothing about the program.
Was he part of the program before you, or did he know somebody who did the program?
No, he wasn't part of the program. He just knew, you know, the persons that were in charge of it, like Mr. John Quill and Anne-Marie Quill.
Okay.
And then he told me about it, yeah.
And so you just run right in. What about you? How did you find out about the program?
Actually, they came down to Dennery. That's when they were advertising it. And then, to be surprised, there was a whole, I'd say probably like 70 of us who was interested, you know, want to find out more about it. And then when I heard of it, I was like, okay, let's see what it's like.
So you didn't expect them to call you? You just went through the process?
Yeah, I just went there, fill out the form, and I was like, okay, you know what? If I get free, I get free. If I don't, I don't. Because that's what happens.
It happens like that sometimes. Yes.
And then Saturday morning, I got a call, Webster, are you interested in starting on Monday? I was like, do you have the right Webster?
Wow.
Yes. And then Monday, I went down, I had an interview, and just my personality blew Mrs. Quill away. Nothing else. Just
I am blown away by your personality. In fact, I must tell our viewers that as soon as he sat there, he said, let's take a selfie. Yes. So this was my first in-touch selfie with Webster John. So yes, he has a personality on point.
Yes.
But coming from Dennery, because you are from Grand River.
Dennery, yes.
Dennery,
Mamabuya Valley.
which is the Mamabuya Valley.
Yes.
Very proud people. I had to ensure that I said this correctly, because I would not be forgiven if I didn't say it properly. The Training Institute, the center is in Grosley, and so you would be coming from Dennery to...
Every morning.
Every morning.
Yes.
Were you on time?
I think I was only late in the whole month twice. But apart from that, I was always on time.
Was it difficult because, you know, to commute from Dennery up to Grosley and to ensure that you're able to focus and be there for the program? Was it a very difficult thing to do, because you really have to be committed to ensure that you get this done?
No, because the people I was in my class, we made it our duty that everybody would go up to the next level. So
you held each other,
yes.
basically.
So I was actually looking forward to, okay, school is done at 4. Okay, can sun set and sunrise, so I could go back to school to see what happens next. And yeah, because it was very interesting, and it's my first time in bar service, and it's the cruise ship. Come on, you're going to experience different cultures, different nationalities and stuff. So, you know, you're anxious, and trust me, I am still anxious.
I could tell you're still anxious. You've done this for a year, you're about to go in for your second contract, and you're still very excited. Yes. That's a good thing. When you leave here, you train as a group, you go to the interview. Those who are successful, I noticed that we have a batch of students going out.
Yes.
Do you stay in touch on the cruise ship, or is it a situation where people go their separate ways? We have come this far, this is the end of our journey, I have a job now.
Yeah,
is this how it works? Is this how it works, or do we have a situation of you know, St. Lucians banding together and ensuring that we look out for each other and so on? What is the environment like?
Okay, well, it happens that after you get through with your interview, you have to do your the medical process and all of that. Now, different people, different speed. So whoever has the money first, you know, would do it. So you would go with this batch, and you know, and stuff like that. But when you get there, they divide you. That's the sad thing.
Yeah.
So when you get on the cruise ship itself, you have 21 days of college. So you've done your interview, done your medical, but you don't get the job one time. You have 21 days of college where you have exams to go through. You have to remember cocktails. They're going to put you out in the field to see how you're doing. The managers are going to come and, you know, just to see who they really going to play with at the end of it. So
they really want to, because you do the interview here, which is a theory, so you go onto the cruise ship to do the practical.
Yes.
What was it like?
It was very difficult. I had 15 days of, how would I say, I did not sleep for 15 days.
Wow.
But the good thing about my group, again, it was only 10 of us. So there were people from Turkey, South America, there was 2 St. Lucians, and we had people from Mexico. So it was just 10 of us. And then we made sure everybody went through. So we'd stay up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, going over our work. Okay, say if you don't understand that, we break it down, because on the ship you have to remember PLUs, folio numbers.
Oh, you lost me. You just lost me right there.
Okay, these are
what
codes.
is PLUs?
These are codes for the drinks.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So when the guests come and they order the drink, you just take the folio number, which is 4 digits, you enter it, and the fist comes up, and then you put in the PLU, which is another code for the drink.
So you have to remember all of that.
You have to remember that, and trust me,
and,
there is like over 100 and something drinks you have to remember.
Oh wow!
Yes, but the computer, it's programmed in a way where you could just type in the drink and it just pops up.
What is the best part of all of this in terms of working on the cruise ship?
The crew bar.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean, after a long day's work, you go down to the crew bar. The people you've met.
That's why it was not hard to remember the PLUs.
Yeah.
I see what's going on here. It wasn't hard at all, because this is where you lime.
Yes. Yeah, but
what I told you about Webster.
But at the end of it, you go down to the different ports, so you get to just relax, take it all out, enjoy the sun, enjoy the beach. If you don't want to do anything, you just stay in your cabin and then you sleep. Well, majority of the time that's what I did. But
Natanya, you at the center, the students who have gone before, those who've had the experience while they are here on vacation, they come in to the center to speak to you about the experience and to tell you what to expect. Do you know anybody, apart from those who have been part of the Training Institute, who work on the cruise ship?
Yes, I do, actually.
And what is the response like? Is it as beautiful as what Webster say to you? Or do they tell you, girl, you really do not want to come there? You do not want to come there because this is hell?
No, it's basically the same thing like what they say. They encourage you, said as the best choice you could make, it's the best experience. Yes, it's hard work, however, it pays off.
Yep. Wow.
So yeah, it's something that, you know, they would recommend to me and other persons and say, well, yeah, that's something you could go for.
Are you excited? Do you know yet when you will be leaving? At what stage are you in preparing to leave?
Well, I actually got my loan process already. I did my medicals. I'm just waiting for the results and try to get my date as to when I have to leave.
What was the experience like going through the process for your finances? Because the Prime Minister did indicate that some of money would be made available through the St. Lucia Development Bank. In fact, in the Prime Minister's New Year's message, he indicated that he would be expanding the opportunities available under the Cruise Ship Employment Program, which is good news because it means that those of you who are viewing the program and are unemployed will be given an opportunity to go into this program and to gain employment on the cruise ship. So this is good. But in terms of going through the processes, do you think the process is smooth enough, or were you frustrated in terms of getting your finances done, or was everything settled from the beginning so you knew exactly what to expect?
Well, it's kind of like a lengthy process, however. You know, there's so many persons that are applying for the loan. And yeah, there's still a lot of persons from my class who are still waiting for the loan to be processed. So it's kind of lengthy. However, at the end of it all, it's good, because if you have to pay for all of that, then it will probably be even longer and worse. Yeah. So it's good. I'm really thankful, you know, with Springboard trying to get the government, SLDB, to assist us with the finance.
What was it like for you, Webster? Because the Prime Minister indicated very clearly that there has been a very high delinquency rate on these loans, and so stringent measures would have to be put in place to ensure that the amounts are paid back, because this is how Natanya would benefit, and this is how somebody else would benefit, because it is supposed to be a revolving fund. Were you able to meet the requirements of the banks in terms of the minimum payment, or were these requirements so much more than what you would be earning?
No, it was a smooth process. When I got on the ship, I made, okay, I'm paying my loan the first priority. Whereas some other people, by the time they get on the ship, they make the phones, the shoes, and all of these things their first priority. So people like this young lady here, you know, gets to suffer. So for me, I just wanted it off my back so I could just breathe and have fun. So I wouldn't be like, okay, when I go to bed, I have that to pay. And
I'm sure this is the advice you would give to the students that you go into lecture, that you need to set your priorities right. In order for this program to continue, you need to ensure that you're able to pay back.
Yeah, because there was this young lady, she came on the cruise, and then she came at a very good time on the cruise. We were having a chartered cruise where a company pays off for the whole ship, and then you have different activities. So you have jazz cruises.
I can see the excitement in your eyes. I'm sitting here and I can see it. I can feel it. You're saying to me, Jadia, you know what? You better leave this job and come on a cruise. This is all I'm getting. This is all the vibes I'm getting from you. Yes, you were saying.
So there is jazz cruises. There is Spanish cruises. There is so many. But unfortunately, so she came on this cruise, which was a jazz cruise. So you had big stars like Patti LaBelle. I got to meet her.
Oh, wow. Ruben Did you take a selfie?
I couldn't.
Oh, shit.
But I had pictures of her.
Oh, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Ruben Stunner, Mary, and I got to serve them, and then which was really, really good. So, yeah. And then you have the Casino Premier cruises, where it's all about the casino. So these people who love gambling, they come to the casino, they come on the cruise, and then they get to play, and the drinks, the casino take care of it.
Oh,
yes.
So it's just, but are you, when you're going back, are you going on the same ship, or do they rotate you? How does it work?
Actually, my boss wants me to come back on the same ship, but I don't want to go there. I just
Why?
Because Carnival has 22 ships in the fleet. Now I want to try something new. I want to go to
Different
another.
experience.
Yes, and then there is another one coming next year in March of 2016, which is Carnival Vista. And since I have blown majority of my guests away, they're already requesting that I come on this ship when it's sailing out of Italy. So
Wow.
let's see how it goes.
What would be your advice to any young person who is viewing this program? There are a lot of young persons who are viewing. Some, while they are unemployed, they are skeptical about the program. They are not too sure whether it is for them, whether they should go ahead with the training. What would you say to any young person who is unemployed and who's viewing the program right now?
Okay. Well, it's a very good program. And you won't see the benefit now, but you will see it at the end of the race. Because with me, when I first heard about it, I was like, it was another gimmick. And then I had some of my friends who went through, and then I spoke to them, and then they were like, no, it's not. It's actually a good program. You work with Carnival, and Carnival is one of the largest cruise line industry in the world. So when you go there, you get through, everything is done. When you get to the ship, you just prove yourself. Every day you keep proving yourself, and then the more guest comments you get, the better for you. The more your boss loves you. Because he wants me to come back, but I do not want to come back. When the people from the office come, they won't know you by your code, which is your folio, your sale and sign number. They will know you by your name, because every time they used to come to my bar, they would be like, okay, Webster, can I get this? Can I get that?
Wow.
So, you know, I'm a very big asset to Carnival right now, and I'm happy that I started at the bottom, and now I'm at the top. And thanks to Mr. Quill and Springboard, that I can come back today and inspire young people from St. Lucia, you know, to go there, raise your country flag high, and make yourself proud and your family, and of course Springboard
Well, you
proud.
make me proud.
I know.
I'm very proud.
Yes.
Look, I want to say thank you so much, Ms. Natania. I will be looking out for you, because I want to know what your experience is like. Because your experience may be different to Webster's experience, based on, like you said, personality, experience, the ship that you work on, and so on. Webster, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you so much for
I
having me.
think it is an experience that will cause many persons to view the program differently. Like you indicated before you were part of it, you viewed it as something that is a gimmick, that may not be real, but you benefited from it, and so you can share your experience with others. We'll go to a commercial break. When we come back, we will be getting your phone calls so you could share your views on the program. You may have questions for Mrs. Anne Maria Quayle as it relates to the institute itself, the training center, what opportunities are available, and how you can benefit. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after the commercial break. I'm your host, Jadia Japierre Emmanuel. We will continue our discussion on the Cruise Ship Employment Program, a program which was introduced in the 2014-2015 budget statement, where the Prime Minister indicated that we will be making $3 million available through the SLDB for on-lending to students who would be undertaking a training program for employment on Carnival Cruise Lines through the Springboard Institute. We have now with us all three of my guests. We have Miss Anne Marie Quayle, Mrs. Anne Maria. I call her Anne Marie. Mrs. Anne Maria Quayle. She's the managing director of Springboard. We have it is too early for you to forget Webster and Natania. The telephone number will be up on the screen right now. You can call in with your questions or your comments. I am sure that you may have questions for the managing director of Springboard, and there may be things that you would like to know about the experience on the cruise ship that we did not cover. So you can call in 452-7347. This is the number to dial. While we await your calls, Mrs. Quayle, someone is asking about the requirements, all of the requirements to be part of the program. But before that, we'll take our first call. Good night. Thank you for calling.
Yes, good night.
Good
You
night.
have reached the offices.
On production.
Hello, good night. I think there is some interference on the line, so we will sort that out, and then you can try to call back again at 452-7347. The requirements, what are the requirements for entry into the program?
Okay, Judy, I'll read them so that I don't forget anything.
Sure.
So first of all, you have to be between the ages of 21 to 33. You have to have completed secondary school, preferably up to Form 5. You have to possess good verbal and written communication skills. You need to have a very strong work ethic, and by that we mean you have to be very hardworking and punctual. You have to have a clean police certificate of character, be in good health, be outgoing, friendly, and have an energetic personality, because on the cruise ship it's a very high energy, fast-paced environment, so you have to be a very strong and energetic type person.
Like Webster and
Like
Nathaniel.
Webster.
Yes.
He's our role model.
Yeah, very
have an
energetic.
attractive, presentable appearance with no visible tattoos. And preference is obviously given to candidates with experience, but it's not essential. Most of our students have no experience.
Indeed. Our phone lines are up and running, so 452-7347. This is the number to dial if you have any questions to ask. Again, 452-7347. This is the number. In terms of our students who come into the program, do you have anyone coming into the Springboard Learning Center for training who are not necessarily interested in going on to the cruise ship, but are just interested in the certification and sharpening their skills so that they now can be an asset to the local industry?
Yes, we do. Not many. Most of the young people that come to us generally want employment and they want to be able to work on Carnival. But we do have a few people who just have the qualification.
We have a phone call. Good night, you're on the air.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
I missed something about the age of the children when they have to start.
The age?
Yes, so it's got to be between 21 and 33. 21 because of the American alcohol laws, and 33 is a rough guide. We sometimes go to about 35.
We've lost that call. You can continue to call in. In terms of individuals coming into the Training Institute, what is the ratio of our males to our females?
I would need to check, but roughly it's about 60-40, I think.
So you have more females
60%
or
girls, yes.
You know, I asked that, Webster, because
Yeah.
you know, when we look at opportunities for employment in the local industry for our ladies versus our men, and you know too, there was this big discussion recently with positions where a woman is more likely to be a boss as opposed to somewhere else. So I was just wondering, we've lost that call. 452-7347. You can call in to ask your questions or to make any comments that you would like on the program. Again, we are discussing the Cruise Ship Employment Program, which is a program introduced by the government of St. Lucia. In fact, we just heard from Mrs. Quayle that there was a pilot version of that program which started in collaboration with NICE, but this has since expanded with support from the government of St. Lucia, where a sum of money has been made available to the St. Lucia Development Bank. The Prime Minister indicated that this would be expanding and there'd be more opportunities. Good night, you're on the air.
Yes, good night. I'm trying again.
Yes.
Yes, I want to ask Webster. You said you are now at a different level.
Yeah.
Just indicate to me what level that you are, or how you went up through the ranks, and what's your latest position.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Well, right now I am still a bar waiter, but I am looking to go to the entertainment field, which I am almost there, because even the guests were saying you're in the wrong department. Everybody was like, you're in the wrong department, because in the bar you're supposed to be outgoing, supposed to be fun, because when you sell the drinks, you won't come and like say, okay, do you want to get any? You know, you have to be like, oh my God, you know, this is what we have on special. Would you like to get it in a larger glass? Or because you know there are different items you could upsell, and the more you upsell, the better for you. So yeah.
Oh really? So you're not employed on a fixed salary? There are opportunities according to how well you sell and so on?
Yeah, especially okay. In the bar department, the way it goes that you work on commission. So the more drinks you sell, the bigger your pocket grows.
No wonder you're so happy. Good night, you're on the air.
Good night to you, Julia. Good night to you
Yes.
again.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, I can address this to any of your guests.
Sure.
really wish to answer. But let me ask. I think I almost address this to the youngest, right? What would be your advice for the young person who is seeking employment, right, and have not been successful? Would you advise them to capitalize on such changing life programs such as Springboard and other programs which the government has put in place for the young persons of this country?
Thank you, caller.
I would say yes, because no government would want to see their young people with brilliant minds go to waste. So they want to put things in place for them to see they better themselves and the country. So institutes like Springboard, NSDC, NICE, and all these things, the government has already put money in there for us young people. So, you know, I would definitely tell them, go ahead and try it, because you may never know how far you could reach.
Indeed. We'll continue to take your calls for 527-347. Good night, you're on the air. That's a shy caller. You can call in at 452-7347. Good night. Thank you for joining us. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night. I just have a quick question. To start the program, do you have to pay any fees up front?
Oh, sure. That's an important question. Thank you so much. The fees to be trained.
Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, the cost of doing the program is 2,300 EC. That's for the qualification. And you have to pay $1,000 deposit. The rest you can borrow from the arrangements through SLDB.
So the $2,300 is not part of the financial arrangements through SLDB?
It is, but the way we've designed the program is that we like young people to be able to commit something for themselves. Otherwise, it feels very much like, you know, they're borrowing the whole amount and they aren't fully committed. So normally, if somebody has put something into the program, then generally speaking, you tend to be more committed. Yes.
Do we have instances where persons come in, you can see that they have the potential, they really want to do it, but they're not able to raise the $1,000 that is necessary to make that deposit? Would you accommodate them in instances like that?
We are very flexible. We may give them an extended period to pay the $1,000, or if we assess the situation and we can tell that this person is really struggling, then of course we make arrangements for them to borrow the full amount.
Good night, you're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good night. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, and good night to your guests as well.
Good night.
I just want to call tonight just to encourage your guests, the students, the recruits. I am so proud. I'm sitting at my television and I'm so proud.
Thank you very much.
To see St. Lucians behave that way so professionally, and they're young people. I am really impressed, and I just want to encourage you, as you, Webster, you've been doing, and also the other young lady who's about to go on, to represent your country and represent it well.
Thank you very much.
And I just want to encourage you in all your endeavors. Save some money.
Oh, I am.
Yes, and do well. I just wanted to congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that call. Good night, you're on the air.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Just wanted to clarify something with the lady who does the recruiting.
Sure.
Go ahead, yeah. Isn't it true that a waiter earns $74 a month and then the remainder of his money comes on gratuities?
$74 a month?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. The basic is, I think, over 1,000, 1,000 a fortnight. Sorry, can you clarify that for me, John? 1,000?
Yes, the average salary is about 1,000 US a fortnight is what's...
1,000 US a fortnight.
Yes, 1,000 US a fortnight. But Webster
is right here.
Because
what's your salary? You don't want us to know how much money you're making?
Oh, come on.
No, generally, $74 a month? No, absolutely not. Basically,
I am referring to the dining room waiter, not
the
bar.
dining room waiter. No,
Yes.
they do not earn $74 a month.
1,048 basic.
1,048 basic is what dining room earns. 1,048 basic.
This is inaccurate because I work with the company.
You work with Carnival Cruise Lines?
Yes, the remainder of your money comes on gratuities.
Yes, they do earn gratuity as well. 1,048 is the basic, and on top of that, they get gratuity.
Your gratuity is paid based on how well you perform at the table.
Absolutely. Everything on the cruise ship is performance driven.
Yes, but it is $74 a month. It's a salary.
No, it is not.
Kola, were you recruited through Springboard?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, well, we're speaking about a specific program, and so if
I know,
Springboard
I'm
has,
aware.
but wait, if Springboard has an agreement with Carnival Cruise Lines, and this agreement has specific requirements and you know, very specific rules and what this one is getting and that one is getting, I don't think that it would be fair to compare a program through Springboard with general employment on a cruise ship, because people get employment on cruise ship through so many different institutions. Some do it independently, and so I believe we need to clarify through what means. If you are not associated with this particular program and you're not part of the agreement between Carnival Cruise Lines and Springboard, then I would think that the authority as it relates to the salaries that these individuals would be earning would be themselves and Springboard.
I am in a managerial position. I know what I'm telling you.
And you're saying that the individuals who are employed through Springboard are earning $74?
The waiters, not the bar staff. The waiters,
can I just
the
interrupt
dining
for
room
1
waiters.
second? Can I just
we'll allow Mrs. Quill to come in.
The students who pass their interviews, depending on whether they're going to bar service or restaurant service, they're actually issued letters from Carnival, and the letters have the basic earnings, the minimum basic earnings stated in the letter, and that's the letter that they would normally take to the US for their visas, etc. So so it's not that I'm just saying that, it's you know, it's a written, it's you know, documentary evidence that we can easily make available.
And then tell me about the cook salary then.
Sorry?
Do we recruit
the cook salary, what is it like?
I'm not sure, because we don't recruit cooks, I'm afraid. Not as yet, anyway.
Okay. Then why is it that they still have to go through a training on board the vessel for 2 months after they have done your training?
Yes, because Carnival likes to carnivalize their employees, and that's their rules, that's their policy, and there's nothing that we can do about that. What we do through our training program is make sure that our students, when they get onto the cruise ship, that they don't fail that program, because if they fail the program, they get sent home.
This is not true. This is incorrect.
What part is incorrect, and perhaps you can share with us what your own knowledge is?
Your examiners, are they coming from Carnival or are they coming from England?
The examiners? The examiners for which program?
For your program.
For the qualification?
Yes. Are they coming from Carnival or are they coming from
Just
England?
One moment. The qualification is separate from the Carnival program. The qualification is all of the assignments are marked here by our tutors, but the work is validated by the UK. And in fact, the UK have visited the training centre at least 2 or 3 times since we've opened, and they're coming again in May to make sure that we are maintaining their standards.
But they're not coming from Carnival. They're coming from the UK.
Well, when they get onto Carnival, then obviously Carnival is an employer. Carnival has to manage their employees, and if they see fit that they should go through a program and carnivalize them before they put them in front of the customers, then that's their corporate policy. We can't affect that in any way. However, if they fail the program, I think they're either offered a lower position, but if they fail it again, they're sent home.
Do you have anything else to contribute, Carla?
This information is not accurate, so then I'll leave it at that.
Well, perhaps you can share with us what your own knowledge and authority is, because you are questioning the information that is being presented, but you're not presenting any credible
because I
evidence.
know.
Well, anybody can call and say, I know.
Yes, I know what I'm telling you.
Anybody can call and say, I know, unless you want to disclose who you are.
It's not in our best interest. It's not in our best interest to mislead anyone. So, you know, why would we do such a thing?
Okay, bye. It's okay.
Okay,
sure. Thank you so much for that. What position were you recruited for, Natania?
For bar waitressing.
Bar waitressing. And what information do you have about the program so far? Do you know what your salary would be, or do you still have to go on to Carnival and they would tell you how much you would be paid when you are recruited? What information do you have in terms of, you know, what your terms of employment and so on will be?
Well, after the interview, they send you an offer letter that states all of that, which the base minimum is about 1,048. But then, you know,
1,048 EC or 1,048 US?
US dollars.
Okay.
Yes. And then, you know, based on your...
Is that monthly or fortnightly? The 1,048.
The 1,048 is...
It's a monthly
It's a monthly minimum.
Yeah, it's a monthly payment for but it's minimum.
Okay.
It's the basic.
And then the rest, whatever is based on gratuity, how much you sell, like you were saying.
Yes, everything that you sell, you get a percentage on that.
And basically, you get 12%. For bar, it's 12% of every drink that you sell.
Okay.
So that's why we teach our students to upsell, because obviously, if you sell more expensive drinks like wines and cocktails, that's how you make a lot of money.
We have another call. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good night to you, Julia.
Hi, good night. How are you?
I'm all right, Julia.
Thanks for calling. Do you work with Carnival?
No, Julia.
Okay.
No, Julia.
Just
Julia,
checking.
way past that age.
Just checking so I can ask you a few questions. You know, I just want to ensure that the information we're getting is correct.
But Julia, let me just give you quite clearly tonight my opinion over the entire program tonight.
Sure.
Is that we miss one thing out of Dr. Anthony, and I believe the entire Labour Party fraternity. Dr. Anthony was able to admit that we need to be retrained, re-educated in the skills of work, and I want to give my blessings to such a program, and to everybody who intend. You're younger than me. The world is yours.
Yes.
This is a program for you to become universal. Take the chance. Have a blessed night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. And I just got a message. I think I should share that message. And in fact, if you are listening, viewing the program, and you do not want to call, you could send your emails to intouchwithjadia@gmail.com. We've lost that call, but you can continue to call in to share your views. 452-7347 is the number to dial. Again, 452-7347. And if you have emails, you could send them to intouchwithjadia@gmail.com. Hello, good night.
Hi, good evening, Jadia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to know when is the next batch of interviews.
When is the
next
batch?
of
Thank you,
interviews,
caller.
we think it's going to be in May. We're waiting for Carnival to give us a confirmed date. We're seeing them in February in Florida, but the next date they think is going to be in May. And we're expecting them to come 3 times a year. So at the beginning of the year, January, then we think May, and then at the end of the year, around November.
It's a pity we were not able to get some more information from the caller. In fact, he said that he worked in a managerial position at Carnival. It would have been good to get the name so that we could verify that information, because I'm getting messages from people who are actually employed under that program. In fact, one of them says, I'm waiting to go on my second contract, and I can confirm that the information this man gave is incorrect.
Yeah,
we are given letters before. We know what our basic salary is, but we have to ensure that we sell so that we can make more.
Yeah.
Good night, you're on the air.
Hey, hi, good evening, Jadia. How are you?
I'm doing good enough, thank you. How are you?
And to your guest, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm very proud of what's going on there. You know, as a St. Lucian, I'm happy to see that it's going on. The fact that St. Lucia has given so much to them and that opportunity, I need to take advantage. I am head of the National Volunteer Program. When you come back home on holiday, I really would like to see you in our offices trying to give back to our community. I know you'll learn a lot. It's good to actually have other kids benefit from your experience so you can tell them exactly what you went through, the process. And what it does is actually build the spirit of other young children, you know, so you can get them going again, reactivate them. That'll be nice. So I'll be very happy. I think Jadia will give you all my email address. I think she's privy to that. So when you come back home, you know, you can really work with the office and impact a lot better on children. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And we would be happy to pass that information on as well.
Sure. Again, we continue to take your calls for 527-347. Good night. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good night, Julia, and to your guests.
Good night. Good night.
I almost promised myself that I would just sit and take in the information tonight, but I couldn't resist calling when I heard the caller who attempted to derail the whole thing, and it's very unfortunate. And we have. I mean, it's a reality in life that we have to deal with people and situations like that. But I want to say to the young people there, those who are on board and those who intend to get on board, that it is always the most valuable thing to get the information for yourself.
Yes.
Because there are people for their own selfish reasons who would call and try simply because for one reason or the other, whether it is political or otherwise motivated, to try to derail things like that. And sadly, these are the same people who would call and say, why they're not giving the young people work, and the young people looking for work, and they
So
live
true.
in school, and you know, that kind of propaganda that we have living proof of what is concerned in the program. And there it is, you have somebody who attempts, you know, to make a whole mockery out of the whole thing. And it is very, very, very sad. But I want to, as in the local palace say, I want to big up the program. I want to big up the training. I am very happy, pleased, and very proud as a St. Lucian to see that the young people are benefiting from yet another program that brings employment to them. But to the young people, I want to say, cherish this opportunity. Ensure that you do not live a very lavish lifestyle because you believe by earning something that probably other young St. Lucians would like to be in the salary range and so on. It is an opportunity for you to save tremendously. It is an opportunity for you to benefit, to trying to move up, taking your work seriously, and do not engage in any defaming, in any dishonesty or anything that will bring you and your country into disrepute. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. Some very, very good advice there. You're ambassadors. You're ambassadors. You go out there, and I would imagine that every day you would be meeting persons who do not even know where St. Lucia is. Good night. Thank you for calling.
Hi. Good night, Jadia.
Good night.
This is Dr. Longhead.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm calling because up today, you know, I had a couple of young persons from my constituency who were interested in the program.
Sure.
And I happily asked, I called on them to watch the program. They could get as much information as they could.
Sure.
So I would just like if you, just for their sake, let them know where do they go to apply or to get into the program. I'm not sure if they've gotten that part of it.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is a parliamentary representative for Ansari Canries. And I probably want to ask for his sake, Springboard, do you go into the various communities to share information with the young people, let them know what is available?
We did that in the past. We haven't done that in quite a while. But when we first started, just to get the word out, we did quite a bit of that, but not recently.
But perhaps we should move into Ansari Canries.
We've had quite a few success stories from Ansari, actually. Yes.
Wonderful. But Dr. Long, we can always forward some more information to you so that you can pass on to individuals in your constituency. In fact, a lot of information was presented tonight. I will attempt to collate that, put that into one document so that we can make it available to members of the public. But again, just for the sake of those who are listening, I would allow Mrs. Quayle to give us the information as to what the requirements are and where they can go if they want to participate in this program.
Okay.
That's great, very much.
Sure, you're welcome.
So if you are interested in finding out more about the program, you can ring the center on 450-0198. So that's 450-0198. Or you can visit us. We are at the Gros Islet Gap, just opposite the police station. It's very easy to find. It's right on the main road and directly opposite the Gros Islet police station. In terms of the requirements for the program, you have to be between the ages of 21 to 33. You have to have completed secondary school, preferably up to Form 5, possess good verbal and written communication skills. You need to have a strong work ethic. Punctuality and being a hardworking person is very critical to Carnival. You have to have a clean police certificate of character, be in good health, be outgoing, friendly, and have an energetic personality. Again, very important to Carnival. Yep. You'll be working in bar, in the main, or in the restaurant, but you certainly need to be confident and quite gregarious, quite friendly. You have to be able to engage guests at different levels. So we're really looking for people who have the right kind of personality. You have to have an attractive, presentable appearance with no visible tattoos. And finally, preference is given to candidates with some experience, but just to say the majority of our candidates do not have experience, but we do encourage them once they've completed the program to take up an internship.
Indeed. Good night, thank you for calling.
Good night, JD. Good night. I just want to say good night to your guests and
good night
to Mr. Quayle and Mrs. Quayle. I know them very well, and that's Bruno. I just want to tell them that from the time that the program started, because I remember when it started, I just knew that it would have been a success, because I know that these people are very, very credible people. They believe in what they do, and they are very honest, and I wouldn't want anyone to discredit them for what they are doing for St. Lucia right now. I think that they are still the only institution in the Caribbean that is accredited by the UK. I'm not sure if that has changed, but I can remember that they got the accreditation from the UK, and it's a great program. And I also have people in my constituency who have made it through the program, who I've sent to them, because I used to be with Mr. Quayle, and he used to also be in the Monitor area, that's in Igad. And we have a few people who've been there and done that. And I will also be coming to him so that maybe we can actually do what you just spoke about, the going into the constituencies and sharing the program, because it's a great opportunity, especially for people. You do not have to have a talent, a skill. As long as you're dedicated and you want to do something different, they are willing to teach you, and that is the great thing about the opportunity. So a lot of people who are maybe, as they say, just sitting around, hanging around, doing nothing, they can get the opportunity to do something in themselves and change the whole landscape of what St. Lucia view our young people as. You understand? So I just want to tell them, just keep on doing what they're doing. JD, you have a great program, and have a blessed night, and good night to your guests also.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that call. Again, someone asked for the number. The number is 4500198. This is the number. If you call now, you will not get an answer. So you have to wait until tomorrow morning so that you can call to find out what opportunities are available at Springboard. We can still take a few more calls for 527-347. Sure, Webster, you could see something.
Everybody, you know, has been praising us and Springboard, which is very good. But while I was on the ship, the biggest accomplishment for me to hear the guests speak about St. Lucia. The little St. Lucia that I know, which is just a dot on the world map. So many guests knows about my island. Everybody talks about the pitons, the volcano, the hotels. There were some guests that were like, okay, I cannot wait to go, because the ship that I worked on is coming to St. Lucia on Friday, which is Carnival Freedom, because they relocating to Texas. And then everybody was like, okay, Webster, what can we do? Where can we go? Wow. It's like, what's there to do in St. Lucia? And I was like, okay, you come in on the best day of the week, which is a Friday, and it's going to be here for...
From the guy who lives at the Cuba, of course.
It's going to be here until 7 in the evening. So, you know, like I always tell them, you go down to Suffolk, you take an island tour. You go down by land and you come back by sea. So you get the island on both sides and you get everything. And I was so proud to sell my island to these people, and a lot of them is looking forward to coming to St. Lucia, the little St. Lucia that I work in. Wow, and I leave it. I know. Yeah. This story I could never forget. When I first went to Carnival, I started on Sensation. I got moved to Freedom. Out of the blue, the guest was like, you know, we're just having a conversation. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm getting married on your island. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't know what to say. And then, because the guest just told me, just like, I'm getting married on your island. And then I was like, okay, wow. And then we actually sat down. And then I was telling them where to go, what to do, the different tours, what to sample, our rums, our beers, our local food, and all of that.
I'll pick it up on your website. But the point you're making is extremely important, because you must know St. Lucia. You go out there not as a Webster, but you go out as a flag bearer, as an ambassador, and what you do in terms of representing St. Lucia out there and selling St. Lucia to the rest of the world is extremely, extremely important. Because, you know, our tourism industry is our lifeline right now, and we continue to do well. And so perhaps we should be giving our recruits and our St. Lucians who live in the diaspora some credit for our increase in tourism arrivals, because you do sell St. Lucia and represent St. Lucia.
I'm not the only person. Whenever you hear us talk, we always talk proudly of our country and where we're from, and then
I've experienced that. I say to myself, St. Lucians, when we are in St. Lucia is the worst thing out. We try to discredit each other, we try to pull each other down, we find something wrong with everything. The air that we breathe is not good enough, nothing is good. But the minute we set foot out of this paradise, it becomes heaven. Yes, and we begin to speak so proudly of our country, and it is not something St. Lucians go through. You know, it is something that we go through all over the world. When we are in there, we want to correct what is wrong, because when we go out there, we want to ensure that what we are selling to the world is the best, that it is perfect. So it is okay to criticize. It is okay to find out what is wrong to make it right, because most times, not everyone, but most times we do it out of the goodness of our heart, because we want to see St. Lucia. We want to see St. Lucia better. So you see what it would be like for you, Nathaniel, when you go out there, you will be representing your country. People want to know about St. Lucia. So it is not good enough to be from Cicero and know only about Cicero. You basically would have to know what your island has to offer, because people would ask. People would ask, what can I do?
It's a way of building rapport as well, you know, if you can talk about your country.
Indeed.
Yes, just another way of doing
The phone lines continue to ring. Good night, you're on the air.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
And to your guest.
Hi, good evening.
There's so much I would love to say, but then I know time doesn't permit.
Yes.
You have an excellent program this evening. I am very proud of these two young persons.
Thank you very much.
Especially Webster. And
thank you.
Most importantly, when people speak, you can see their hearts and see the genuineness in what they're saying. And this young man is a true essence of that. Every word out of his mouth was his heart, what he feels, what he loves, what he experiences. And I am telling you, if you continue with this, the sky is the limit. Persons, today I'm an educator, and I can tell you, persons have qualifications, but I always say you can have the best qualifications and you do not have the personality to match that qualification.
I need to find you to give you a hug.
If you do not have the personality to match that qualification, you are nothing. And he is going to go very far. And also with the program, just listening tonight with the springboard, it's rather unfortunate that somebody could call and try to discredit. When you try to discredit something, you have to give the facts to support it. And I did not hear not one fact. So I personally did not believe anything that he was trying to say, because he didn't say anything. Springboard, I think that if a program is in place for young persons to get trained before they enter into an industry, nothing can beat that. So they're armed before. They have foreknowledge, so that when they get to this arena, they are able to identify with whatever they were taught and to become better persons. Continue raising the flag high, continue being yourselves, and the sky is the limit. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that contribution, caller. And I would say to my viewers, when I started planning for this program, I had an exchange with Mr. John Quayle. I actually went to the center. I went to the center so that I can see what was happening at the center. I got an opportunity to interact with some of the students who are currently in training. We have some photographs that I would ask the technician that he puts on the screen so that we can see some of the students, some of those who are actually at the center, what they do, and some of our students who are going out as well. But what I need to see is that you probably, as an individual who's out there, whereas you may not be involved in the program, whereas you may not be seeking employment, it would probably be a good thing to visit the center so you can see what it is like. Speak to the individuals who are part of the program so that they can tell you their experiences, because if you do not interact with them, if you do not know, then chances are you may believe anything that people say about the program. And I think it is just a blessing that we have with us tonight Webster and Nathaniel, because if we did not have the testimonies of the young persons who had gone through the program, what would have happened tonight is that a single phone call, whether it be out of curiosity or malice, could have offset and discredited the entire program. And I think it is just a blessing that we have those who have gone through the program. They are the success stories, really. And it is wonderful foresight that the managing director of Springboard would say, listen, we have some young people who are part of this program. They are willing to share their story. They want to go out there to let other young people know about the opportunities. And this is why they are here tonight. Good night, you're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just wanted to find out if you guys have anything in technology.
I'm afraid not. No, we haven't got anything in technology.
You heard his
bar
question?
Stuff and kitchen stuff.
So, pardon?
Just bar stuff and kitchen stuff.
We don't do kitchen stuff. We do bar. At the moment, we're doing bar and restaurant because there are customer-facing roles.
Okay, I just had that one query.
Yeah, so sorry, we don't do technology.
Thank you for calling. And again, I was asking a little while ago about other opportunities for training that people would be asking for. I'm sure now that the program is on, that you are getting constant calls and people are calling. Any plans to expand and to move into different opportunities, different areas of training?
On the cruise ship or just training?
In general, in general.
Well, at the moment, I mean, people know us for the cruise ship employment program, but we do quite a lot on management development and leadership. We offer programs to hotels. We've done quite a few management development programs right here in St. Lucia. And also regionally, we've just done a program in the Grenadines and Palm Island. And we also do quite a lot on HACCP and food safety as well. Okay. Again, these are all UK qualifications. And I think for the HACCP and food safety, we also offer a US qualification. So that's for hotels and people who are involved in food manufacturing and agro-processing and all of that. So it's a range of programs that we offer.
I'm hoping that we can get the photographs that we can show, but in the meantime, we can continue to take your calls at 452-7347. And I should say that if there is anyone who's listening, and I know that you are because I'm receiving the messages, who have gone through that program, that training program at Springboard, and perhaps you work on the cruise ship and you were contracted through Springboard, perhaps you can call in to share your own experience, or if there is anything that Webster or Nathaniel has presented that you believe is not necessarily in line with your own view, you can feel free to call into the program to share your thoughts. But I have been receiving messages from students who are currently in training, and I also received a message, like I read a while ago, from one individual who is actually working on that cruise ship. And so the views, the testimonies of those who have actually gone through the program speaks volume. Like we heard from Webster, there are some things that you would like, there are some things that you would not like, but at the end of the day, you would have to stick to what the ultimate goal is, and that is an opportunity. There are many persons in St. Lucia who have not had the opportunity to be employed. And so basically, you too, you are models to them. When, for the persons who are listening at home, when they look at you, they see hope. They are saying, okay, these are individuals who made it. And so there is an opportunity too for me so that I can make it through this program. Good night. Thank you for calling. Hello, good night. Hello. When you call, you can just lower the volume on your television so that we would not have conflict and interference. But we can continue to take your calls at 452-7347. We're hoping that we can show you the photographs before we end tonight's program. If not, we can always make them available online. So if you're on Facebook, you can look for Springboard on Facebook. You can also look for a Facebook page that I recently set up for this show. So you can search for In Touch with Jadia Japierre, and the information on the show, on this show, as well as the photographs will be posted there. Thank you for calling. Good night.
Yes, good night. I would like to make a contribution.
Sure. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead with your contribution, caller.
Yeah. Hi.
I would like to talk to the lady with the glasses.
Right here, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Sometime last year, I saw you on the television with the Prime Minister questioning him. Maybe everybody don't think the same. I don't know if because I don't go to school, but how can you work in the Prime Minister's office? You know everything that is going in the office.
Caller, hold on. That's for another show. We will discuss that all together in another show. Tonight, I'd prefer if we can focus on Springboard, the cruise ship employment program. But rest assured, there'll be an opportunity to answer all of your questions and to deal with whatever concerns you would have in that regard. Okay, so if you don't mind, we can just free up the lines for someone who have questions or would want to make a contribution on the content of this show. So again, 452-7347, your questions for Mrs. Quayle, for Webster, for Natania on the cruise ship employment program. There may be questions that you would have to on other issues related to this program, for example, the financing that we did not cover tonight. But the Prime Minister did indicate that financing is available through the St. Lucia Development Bank. And in fact, the funds were made available by the NIC. And so this is a partner too that we must thank in this entire process. The funds were made available. There we have on the screen our students. Can you tell us about this photograph? These are students leaving?
Yes, I think that was, I'm in the photograph as well, so I know that was November. November 2014, so just, a couple of months ago.
So these are students who were successful
flying off to Florida, and we flew out with them on that day, that particular day.
Wonderful. Yeah. We have another set here.
They were going early November.
Oh, and
right,
this,
so this
is
young lady, this
at the
beautiful,
Institute.
Beautiful young lady.
Yes.
She is leaving, I think, in a few weeks.
Wow.
Yes.
And this photograph was taken inside the training center.
That was
there is a bar at the training center. Yes. Unfortunately, alcohol is not served at the bar, Webster. But, the training and the practical stuff happened right there. And we have
another group. Is that at the airport? Yes, that's another group leaving. I can't remember when that was. Again, that's a photograph from the training center.
Yes. And so they're doing the service and all of that. Beautiful. Actually, this is hands-on because you get to do the theory, but you also get to do the practical.
Yes.
We have come to the end of the program. I'm very glad that we were able to see the photographs so that people can actually see what happened and to get a sense as to, and I see our recruits look very happy, bright smiles on their faces. I know the smile is not because they're leaving St. Lucia, because we love Ireland, but the smiles are for the opportunity, an opportunity to do better, to come back to contribute to St. Lucia. So we'll wrap up our program. I see the lines are still blinking, but we are way out of time. And so we're going to wrap up our program, but I need to get a few words from each of my guests. I'm going to start with Natania. She has a very beautiful and bright smile, very bubbly. Yes. You are going off in a few weeks. I know you will miss St. Lucia. Never mind what Webster says. I know that there are nights he stays in his cabin and he cries because he misses the food and he wants to come home. For you, you are going off in a few weeks. You're going to be moving away from your family and friends. What do you intend to do in the short time that you're here to prepare for that transition?
Well, right now, honestly, I'm trying to enjoy our local clubs.
You learn from Webster?
Yes. And I'm spending as much time as I possibly can with my family and enjoying the food in the meantime. And yeah, but whatever it is, whatever it takes, to go ahead and further yourself. Don't worry, because when I went in, I had no experience at all. But then you learn everything. They teach you everything over there. All you need, what they kind of teach you, is your character and your personality. But if you do have that and you get what they teach you, then you should be good. Yes, you're going to miss your family. You're going to miss home. However, it's going to be a very phenomenal experience.
Indeed. Webster, you have a few days, a few weeks left here?
Yeah, a few weeks.
A few weeks.
Yes.
What do you intend to do?
Sleep.
Wow. Yeah. So this is how you
Really?
were prepared to move on.
Yeah. You know, spend quality time with my friends, my family, catching up with things that I didn't get to do before I leave.
You're gonna have to respond to a lot of calls and messages after you leave here.
I know.
Yes,
because right now I'm sitting on there, my phone is actually going
Yes.
Yeah,
indeed.
but I cannot wait to start my second contract, to tell you the honest truth. Well, I already assigned a ship already, but it will be changing because now that I'm branded to this Caribbean pub, so there's only 6 in the fleet. And then if I don't go back to my ship that I just left, then I'll be going somewhere else. So I probably will be going to Australia, Alaska, New Orleans, or whatever.
And I want to go these places.
I know. The truth be told, I really want to go to Alaska because there it's very, very busy. Alaska, Australia, Texas, the guests, they keep you going. And then, you know, places like that, okay, that's what I want to do because I'm actually looking forward to going to work every single
I'm extremely proud of
day.
you. You demonstrate that you on top of this. You have information on your markets. You are already, this is amazing because it means that you are not simply going in there and walking through the process, that you're learning, that you're preparing yourself and equipping yourself for something bigger and better. And I must tell you, I'm extremely proud. I think every single St. Lucian who's watching this program tonight is proud because you have demonstrated to a willingness to learn. You have transitioned very, very well, and you basically you are representing your country.
Just imagine a bartender told me, you know what, since it's my first contract, I'm new to the company, don't make money the first priority. Money will come. Take as much as I can, learn. Please and thank you goes a long way when it comes to your bartender. When you show them that you really want to know and you really do care, they're gonna say, okay, you know what, he wants to learn, she wants to learn. So they're gonna give you priority. Because to tell you the honest truth, I could not make a cocktail, and now give me any cocktail, I will tell you what's in it. I can tell you what's in it. I could make it.
Nice.
And then it just shows you, you know, that I wanted to learn. And then I'm all for it.
Very nice. I just want to give you a high five right now. You honestly, I am extremely proud, and I hope that our other St. Lucians who are going out there, those who want to get onto the program and those who are about to go on, viewing this program so that they are able to get a sense from you as to what the experience is like. And I think you're motivating many of our young people now, including myself. This is not my field at all.
But you want to do it.
and it is not just that I want to do it. The advice that you just gave, it goes across the board. Please and thank you goes a long way. This is not for bartending. This is not to work on a cruise ship. These are basic life skills that you need. And one of our educators who called into the program said it a little while ago. Qualifications, it's okay, but unless you have the personality to go with it, unless you're able to demonstrate a willingness to learn, unless you're able to be courteous, unless you're able to be tolerant and patient, unless you are willing to share, to grow, then you will not go very far. And I see all of this in you, just as she said. And I think when people pronounce the blessings, you better just receive it, because you are a living example to every young person as to what can happen when you grab opportunities with both hands, really. Mrs. Quayle, I want to thank you so much for being part of the program tonight. This is a wonderful initiative, wonderful opportunity. Obviously, our Prime Minister believes in the program. He has endorsed the program. I am sure that it was good news when you heard the Prime Minister say in his New Year address that he intends to give more support to the program.
Absolutely, absolutely, because that was the one thing that could threaten the viability of the program. If students can't take up their assignments, then obviously Carnival wouldn't want to come. So yes, it was a relief.
And we look forward to more opportunities, greater partnership with Carnival.
Yes, well, we're talking to Carnival, so let's see how that develops,
Indeed. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight on In Touch. I know many of you are looking forward to the program. I want to thank so many of you who tuned in tonight. I want to thank you for calling. Again, a Facebook page has been set up for this program. It is In Touch with Jadia Japie on Facebook. You could go on to the Facebook page, and there we will be posting photographs from our show. We will also be posting the actual videos of this show. So by the end of this week, this entire program should be available on YouTube, should be posted on that Facebook page. So when you need a little inspiration, you can just click on and listen to the advice from Webster again. I thank you so much for joining us. Do have a pleasant and safe week. We'll be back here next week, Monday, with another exciting and informative edition of In Touch.